Hello and welcome to another one of your videos. It's going to be a fairly big one, although not all the stock is going to get shown because I had a massive batch of maple leaves come in. Supplier phones me up, said, yeah, there's a fairly chunky amount. Are you interested? So I end up taking 438 of all numbers. I've got about 200 left, so if anyone does want a maple leaf in the UK, I'm doing them at 23 plus post. Don't usually try and sell stuff, people just message me, but I know there's going to be messages about it. So 23 plus post if you want one, or if you want 200. That's pretty much where I'm at. Now let's get into the real goodies. Actually, tell a lie, I've got some other bits that came in today. I had 9 of these come in. You've seen these. I bought a load of these before. I think I bought 70 or 80 of them. For those of you who say, oh, you're showing the same stock, I've still got them. You know, it's not a problem. Most of them being sold down. Still some there. So I've got 9 more of these to add. I don't think there's much in variation. Battle of Britain, Brexit, Battle of Britain, Battle of Britain. So just Battle of Britons and Brexits on that one. And then there was this. This was kind of interesting. He come in. It's a gentleman I've dealt with in the past. You've seen some of these coins that I bought. He just said, I've got some bits. I know I can get more elsewhere. To be honest, I don't really have the time. You know, if you want to make a few quid, I don't mind selling them to you. So I ended up picking this up. I paid over spot for this. It's not a problem. I've had one of these in the past. I may have had a couple. I remember having one. I've had a lot of coins, bars over the years, so please excuse my goldfish-like memory. I was saying that, I'm not even sure if it's goldfish-like memory. I've dealt with thousands and thousands of orders. I can't remember everything. I guess maybe I should give myself a bit more credit on that one. I do like these. So the idea of this is you can buy it and then you can potentially gift it. So you break the seal and then you twist it around and you can give gold grams out, as it says here. Does it work that way? Not really. Now, what is something like this worth? Maybe 550 to 560. Some people would push it at 620. I think BBP have got them at 620. I think that's a stretch. But I think 550, 560 is where it's at. Right, now let's get into the graded goodies. This is going to be a treat. I'll run you through some of the coins. Right, I want to kind of do it in order. So I've got 2 of these. 1998 proofs. They both come at PF69. Now these are worth a pretty penny. When I got them, they were trash. And when I say trash, I sent them off the off chance. It was more research and development for me than me expecting them to get a grade. I didn't think either of them would grade, if I'm honest. There was a lot of gunk. There was finger marks on both of them. They were pretty terrible coins. Now, some people would sell them just as a used proof. I tested it because it was the 1998s. They are a rare coin. You don't see many of them. So I'm especially happy. I'm over the moon that they got 69s. I'm glad I kind of tested it out because I was tempted just to kind of slap on 20 quid and move them on. Obviously it does cost me. I've lost, 4 months time as the time's gone up recently, annoyingly. And I've lost the grading and conservation fee. I've done very well. A couple of these, over the moon with these. I remember speaking to the grader about it and he was pretty done in about it. And I said, no, honestly, I don't think he remembered what they were like when I sent them in. Now this one, again, I paid, I think it was about £50 over spot on this. Again, when I got it in, there was issues with it. Personally, I wasn't sure if it was water damage or if it was marked, but I thought I'd test it out. I thought I'd trial it. I'm happy I did. Over the moon to have received 69s on this. Now, a lot of people won't entertain a 69. My job is about finding kind of diamonds in the rough and then move them up the value curve, and I think these 3 coins have really hit out the park for me, regardless of the fact that they're not PF70s. Some people don't agree with the whole grading system. That's fair enough. Unfortunately, I play by the rules that are set out in front of me. That's just how I do it. Now, I had a half 2022 Platinum 69. It was bound to happen. I've sent a lot of these off. This is my first 69. It's okay. It's okay. In terms of price, I don't know in terms of price at the moment. Maybe 425, 450. It's okay. I'm okay with that. You can't win them all. I had a 3-coin set that come from the same guy. Again, so the full sovereign got a 70. Really happy with that. I don't think I'll keep this. I think I'll move this one on. My attention is not really foolproof sovereigns at the moment, which is going to seem counterintuitive when you see the next lot of sovereigns that I've got to show you. There was a half. This one's going in the reserve because I had 10 in the reserve. I end up selling one of them to get some cash flow, knowing that I had a 70 coming back. So this one's just going to be swapped for the one that was in the reserve. Ironically, it's got a 10 on it. Doesn't really mean anything. Just a bit funny. And I got the quarter. So I had a clean sweep on that 3-coin set. I'm happy. I'm happy with that. We're not talking crazy margin on this set. Once I take out costs, if it comes to say 10%, I think I've done okay on that. I paid a bit more than I would have liked of, but sometimes you have to. I got one of these graded, again, more for research and development, in the sense that, let's just put it research. I don't think it's research and development. I'm not kind of creating anything. I've been putting random coins through grading just to extend my understanding and knowledge of what grades at what. Now, I have a good idea, but I feel that certain eras grade differently, so I'm kind of pushing the boundaries of my knowledge. Now, I thought this would have graded at a 63. I'm not too upset about a 62 plus. There's going to be people on here say, Sean, your grading isn't up to scratch. You know, it's never a 63. This is why I do it, just to increase my knowledge. Now, this probably won't make me any money in terms of when I sell it due to the costs. For you to send a coin this old, I think it's like £60 or something like that. I'd have to check the invoice. There's no money to be made in this. But again, I was furthering my knowledge of this, so that's money well spent in my opinion. Now, I could take it to someone else. That means I will never learn myself. Now, the next 2 coins, these are interesting for different reasons. This coin here, this came for a supplier. It came to a supplier via a gentleman. The supplier didn't want to touch it. He said to me, if you want to hash it out with the customer yourself, that's okay. So I was like, fine. The customer started quoting me bullion by post prices. And I said, I was like, I can't pay you that much. I've got to send it to the States. I've got to grade it. It did look good. So we come to a price. And then what happens, I'll show in a customer, say, you know, where you're like, hey, look at this. And what I do, I accidentally put my finger on it, didn't I? Happens to the best of us, guys. It really does. I'm fuming. So I literally stuff it in the bag and send it off out of rage. Thankfully, they were able to resolve my finger mark. So finger marks can be resolved. You know, it's not a problem. Very happy with this. And last but not least, it's all the special proofs at the moment. So this coin here, I had to meet a customer in another city. And usually when I go somewhere new, I'll have a look at pawnbrokers and jewelers and coin shops if there is any. And this was in a pawnbroker's. It was just loose. It was what they had for a normal sovereign. So they had it up at 475. That's what they wanted for a normal sovereign. I don't think they'd realised it was a proof. They just put it in the window. I had a look here and I said, you know, 475, I don't really want to touch it. Okay. Would you come down to say 450? 475, I would have bought it, but sometimes you've got to play the game. And they was like, yeah, you know what, we can do 450 for you. So came back at PF70. Obviously I checked over loads of coins they had. I was on a very limited time frame, and this was the only one that I felt like buying. I was going to go back and check it out. This was in November. Haven't been back since. But they had a wider range of coins. Most of them were either trash, severely overpriced, and not worth your time. But every once in a while you'll go to places like this and there will be a diamond in the rough. Very happy to have bought this. Over the moon at 70 grade. So that's it for today. I hope you've enjoyed the content. There's a random hair on the table. I don't know why. I hope you've enjoyed the content. If anyone does want any maples, you know, they are at 23 plus post. If anyone wants to drop me a line, it's just send me an email. It's in the description. They all will be for sale except for the half that's going back in the reserve. Anyway, guys, take care. Bye.